Hey everybody, we just got back from a great week in Georgia. We started out Monday in Jonesboro, Georgia with our chainsaw demo class. We had a great number in attendance, and I just want to thank Georgia LTAP for bringing us out. And then we traveled on over to Gainesville, Georgia for our 3-day hands-on program that includes our storm debris class. Tim's going to be sharing some tips on storm debris situations here throughout the video. Be sure and watch. And then got home Thursday night. And guys, if you're watching the video, thumbs up. Any comments, questions you may have, put them down below and follow. We'll see you along ForestApps Road.
Hi everyone, Tim Ard, Tim's Tips. Today on our Along the Road with ForestApps, we're finishing up a 3-day training program, and this day consists of more or less storm debris removal. And what we've done is we've set up areas where we have done some felling for clearing, and we've kind of crisscrossed things and turned it into kind of a little storm situation. And so now today the training group will be taking information in teams and putting together their program or their plan for removing these down. And we've marked them in 3 or 4 places on each pile, and we're going to take and let them put their plans together, and then we'll see how it comes about to execute the plans. So we're looking forward to today. We've got great weather for it, and it's going to be interesting. Has some good pressure and bind situations. We'll see how it turns out. Then if you don't have it exactly right, it's going to twist, right? And that can grab your saw again. But if you offset just a little bit, say to the right, and you cut down, then it has kind of a ledge there, cantilever effect. In the right spot when you cut through that fiber, because you got to be in the right position or it's going to get you. You can't jump out of the way in a lot of cases. You have another option. I would probably, if this were a storm situation, I'd start down there where team 1 would, and I'd work my way up, and the first thing I'd come to would be what? The spring pole, and go ahead and reduce that out of the way as I'm working up from the butt ends. But in this case, if I was to start right here, I don't want to just be right here and cut it. Why? It can come right at you. So it's a bad situation, but you know, and I can't come right here either too far back, because this is going to come down. So I've got to come here as far as I can over, reach my saw out left or right, and allow it to go up over my head. I'll cut left and right with an offset. And that way, when I cut through it, that's going down and that's flying up 90 miles an hour. And the offset can keep you from grabbing your saw. Are you comfortable with it?
Yeah.
Each cutting plan starts off with an evaluation overall, and we look for things of hazards, overhead limbs that might be broken or hanging, looking at different things on the ground that could be slippery or wet or end up with the sharp objects, those kinds of things, or spring poles. Then we take and start to look at an individual cut. In other words, where does it need to be cut in relationship to what I call merchandising? In other words, you always have a certain length to go in a bucket or on a trailer, or to take and think about chipper size, or if we have to hand carry something, it has to be a proper weight. So we start looking at where do we need to cut to be able to do that. 3 rules of thumb that some people have shared with me over the years, and it's worked out pretty good, is number 1 is to think about, try to start from the butt end of the tree whenever possible. When you start off from the top, you end up having to put yourself among the limbs, and also if something twists, you can be pinned or something come at you. So we always start at the butt end. Now, that doesn't mean you're going all the way back to the roots. It just means you're going to start and work towards the top. And so we identify what sections we need to have for the trunk, and then as we get to limbs, we remove those, lower them down so we can go past them. So that's kind of the process here. So we say always work from the butt. Next is we always try to have everything stabilized before we have more than one person on the tree. So one person with a chainsaw until it's stabilized. Start at the butt, work towards the top, and then don't pass any limbs. You always want to take those off as you go. A lot of people would say, well, I want to leave that for stability or keep it off the ground. In most cases, that creates a pivot or it creates side pressure that can cause you to get stuck. And so you want to make sure that you remove those as you go. If you need to hold it up off of the ground, then take and put a limb or something under it, log under it, to be able to create your own pivot so you can plan for that. So as we work up through these things, then there's several cuts that can be used. We use a lot of offset cuts. There's a tongue and groove cut, keep from twisting. And then a lot of notches and hinges are used to be able to remove higher limbs, just like felling a tree, or to be able to lower logs or heavy weight. And as you take weight off from the butt end, it reduces the pressure in the top. And a lot of times you can pull those smaller pieces or limbs back out of the road or the trail quicker than you can actually go the other way, cut them into small pieces and have to reverse their directions and get them out of the system. So a lot of things to think about. We'll try to go through some of that today.
Have you ever been fortunate enough to miscalculate a little bit, and this happens, get stuck in a big log? The better we plan, the less times this happens.
First of all, any hazards at that specific area. Second is to take and think about, can it move side to side? Could there be side pressures? Could it roll on the terrain? And then also we start to look at, can it move up and down? When we cut through it, is it going to be able to go up because of pivots, or is it going to come down because of weight? Next, we start to look at the situation of back pressure, and that's one that'll stick you pretty fast. So you have to make sure you look to see is a top or a limb or something up against another object that can be pushing back. And then the last is to choose a cut or a technique to be able to manage that movement or the weight or the particular cut to sever it. So that's what we do. Those are the 5 steps. We plan each one of the cuts, and we have to plan every cut that we make, or you end up with your saw stuck or something coming at you unexpectedly. So we'll see how it turns out. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Tim's Tips. Bye.
And if you'd like to find out more information on how to bring the chainsaw training to your area, you can reach me at laura@forestapps.com or call me at the office at 770-543-9862, and we'll get you set up.
Special thanks this week to the supervisors of the Georgia DOT in District 1. They did a super job, and looking forward to next time. Y'all have a great one, and we'll see you later along the ForestApps Road.